Hi, it's Chris, and for this video, we're going to test out a few of the new pencils that I got, and we're gonna just show off my drawing process when it comes to sketching with graphite. So, let's go to the table. So, I got a few new graphite pencils from Art Bar, and I got me a blending stub. Very useful thing. It might seem so mundane when you're starting out, but you'll get to see the value of blending stubs like this. These are very, very important. So I'm keeping that as part of my stash. And as you could see, I bought different pencils from Staedtler. Now they may look similar, but each of the pencils that are in here have different properties. I have here now a jumbo lomograph in 6B. I have here a standard Staedtler Mars lomograph in 10B, which is the darkest. It's already 10B, so I assume that's the darkest of the Mars lomograph. Then you have here the lomograph aquarelle in 8B. This is their water soluble graphite. And I picked up 3 of the Staedtler Mars lomograph black, which is now, as they claim, as the darkest graphite without any shine. I purchased one 2B, one 6B, and one 8B. Let's try it first on my Peter Pauper sketchbook, which is made of relatively smooth paper. Alrighty, so the different pencils perform in such different ways. The two standard lomographs, particularly you have here now the 10B and the jumbo ones, feel like your typical graphite pencils, while the aquarelle also performs like a graphite pencils, but it really just changes its color once you add water to it. It becomes darker and more matte, while the lomograph blacks, especially the 8B one, is very, very dark. So I allotted particular purposes for these pencils with the different techniques that I use. In tracing the outline, I decided to use the 10B because it's so soft, it made it easy to transfer to my working surface, as you could see here. And now I am using the aquarelle in the darkest areas to create some sort of shading. And then once I dilute it in water, the pencil just melts and creates a perfect base layer for the hair. Now, I know what you might be thinking, that's not the best way to draw realism, and you're correct, but this is a quick sketch. So I'm now using the lomograph black, which starting off with using the 2B felt a bit different. It feels as if it's a bit of, it's like pastel-like, but not quite as rough or scratchy, if you get what I mean. I think the best way to experience the texture is actually to trying the pencil for yourself. But you know that it's not as buttery to glide onto each work surface as compared to your standard graphite pencils. Alright, now talking about my drawing process, you can see here that I'm using the jumbo in order to create my midtones for the skin tone of this drawing. By the way, I am drawing one of my good friends, Irisan. So yeah, I'm using the jumbo pencil on my blending stump to create that midtone for the skin tones, and now blending it across the portrait. I don't know if anybody else does this or they prefer now to load the graphite on the paper and then blend it with the stump, but it works for me. Now about this lomograph black. It's easy to erase as well, and it blends like a typical graphite pencil. The only difference that I could determine here with your standard graphite is that it just feels scratchy once you start to use the 6B going to the 8Bs. But other than that, it works like a typical graphite pencil, and in fact, it works pretty well. Um, it does what it claims to do in that it's pretty matte. Even the 8B is relatively matte, especially if you go deep into the drawing process. About this piece that I am working on right now, I plan to create a entire collage of my friends in a piece. So I asked some of my friends to send me their photographs so that I can draw them, and it will serve as both an exercise, and once I'm finished with this project, I plan to hang this around my house. So I'm working on a Fabriano mixed media paper, and it is, I believe, 11 by 14. So it's pretty big for what I'm used to, and I'm just excited to take on this project and draw my friends in the process. This is, I think, a tribute that I have, an act of sentiment, if you may. So yeah, this is a good friend of mine. Her name is Risha, and she's actually one of the friends that got me into drawing. Um, she's she's the first friend that I actually contacted once I started to get into arts, because she was someone who I knew who was very good with crafting, designing costumes, and painting using acrylics. And with her help, I got my footing in the basics of drawing. And as I progress and move forward with learning different techniques, I got more inclined with a certain niche when it comes now to drawing, which is somewhere closer to realism, while Risha is more closer to illustrative. And that's okay, since we all have our different art styles. Oh, as you could see here now, as part of my technique, I like to shade in the different areas, then blending it with the blending stump. It I don't know if you all experienced this, but it just feels so awesome to use a brand new blending stumps. Like it feels so good. One technique and advice that I've heard from a YouTube channel, I believe that was from Lockery Fine Arts, is that you keep one end of your blending stump more saturated with graphite compared now to another side, because you can use now the saturated end to now blend out and add more graphite to your drawings, while you could use the quote-unquote cleaner end to actually pick up some of the graphites and just do your softer, lighter colored blends. So yes, I'm doing that to the different parts of the portrait. And at this juncture, I believe that I'm almost done and just finishing off with some highlights.
So that's the video. I hope you enjoyed and learned a thing or two. Maybe go back to some of the points, such as tracing using reference photos and blending using blending stumps. All of these things can be essential in your art journey when you're using graphite pencils. When it comes to the pencils that we made use of, I like them. In fact, I kind of love them, especially the black darkest of the dark pencils and the softest of the graphites from Staedtler. It's my new favorite pencil for doing my usual transfer sheets. So there's that. Enjoy the rest of your day, your week, your month, your year, and of course, I wish you all love and peace.